A local educator turns experience into a new book. An area man pleads guilty to a horrible crime, and a local event is returning this weekend. I'm Joe Wells, and this is your Bulletin Brief. Dr. Jonathan Strecker wants you to be your best self, and he's literally written the book on it. Strecker has built an educational philosophy centered around a holistic approach to intelligence. Instead of viewing intelligence strictly in the traditional sense, defined by your IQ, grades, or SAT score, he argues that intelligence manifests in 5 forms: intellectual, emotional, social, ethical, and the physical. He believes everyone can benefit from taking stock of their own life and seeing where they excel and where they have room to improve. His book, Emergence: How Modern Convenience is Dumbing Down Our Children and What Parents and Schools Can Do About It, outlines how he, as head of school for the Valley School of Ligonier, has built a curriculum designed for emergence, or becoming the best version of yourself. But for Strecker, his own educational journey did not start out the way he had hoped. He graduated high school with a 2.2 GPA. He took a job at a factory after graduating, and the monotonous routine was so debilitating that he applied to college. But in his first summer of college, he got devastating news. He had stage 4 cancer. That news made him realize he didn't want to waste any more time, and he committed to becoming the best person he could. His book, available for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, releases April 21st. It's also going to be available in Ligonier Borough at G Squared Gallery. Now with an update on a Mount Pleasant man charged in an animal abuse case, here's Annabelle Chips.
Warning: the following information may be disturbing to some listeners. A Mount Pleasant man pled guilty to conspiracy to commit animal abuse before a federal judge last week. He is the first charged in an international group of people who participated in the creation of Animal Crush videos. 44-year-old Joseph Garrett Buckland admitted to membership in online groups who pooled money to commission Indonesian videographers to torture monkeys and film it. Using the messaging app Telegram, Buckland would then distribute the videos, federal records show. Court documents list him as an administrator for a group that called itself Oblivion. Investigators detailed the gruesome scope of violence in the videos. Sentencing is set for October, and the plea deal notes Buckland can spend no more than 5 years in prison. Other monkey torture and Animal Crush groups are still active today. A grand jury indicted 2 Pennsylvania men in an unrelated case at the end of 2025, according to the Department of Justice. In 2023, the BBC released an undercover investigation on online monkey torture rings and found it to be a widespread issue. Please use caution if you check out the article and take time to consume something lighthearted if you can. Reporting for the Latrobe Bulletin, I'm Annabelle Chips.
A local history event returns to the Ligonier Valley this weekend. The Ligonier Valley Railroad Association will host its 2nd annual Coke Oven Day on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Old Colony Sportsmen's Association. The free event gives visitors a chance to see nearly 100-year-old coke ovens and learn about the region's role in producing fuel for the steel industry. At its peak, operations in the valley produced more than 4 million tons of coke. No reservations are required, and the event will be held rain or shine. Organizers recommend arriving in a truck or SUV and being prepared to walk on uneven ground. For more information, you can contact the association directly. We now move on to sports, first with a look at this week's Athlete of the Week nominations, brought to you by Independence Health System. Up this week for the boys, we first have Jackson Kettering, Greater Latrobe boys lacrosse. In the Wildcats' dominant 20-3 win over Gateway, a quarter of Greater Latrobe's goals came from Kettering, as he finished with 5 along with 1 assist. Grady Ruffner, Greater Latrobe baseball. The Wildcats needed just 3 innings to take down Penn Hills, 15-0, but Ruffner still managed to have a productive day, recording an inside-the-park home run and 4 RBIs. Caden Marsh, Derry Area Boys Volleyball. Marsh led the Trojans with 18 kills as Derry Area took down Armstrong in 5 sets for its 4th consecutive victory. Up this week for the girls, Elise Wikoski, Ligonier Valley Softball. In an 11-16 win over Southmoreland, Wikoski was a perfect 4-for-4 at the plate, adding 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases for the Lady Rams. Haley Myers, Derry Area Softball. Myers was excellent in the Lady Trojans' 8-0 win over Highlands, recording a double and 3 RBIs at the plate while pitching a complete game shutout, allowing just 1 hit and no walks while striking out 16. Ryan Lehman, Greater Latrobe Girls Lacrosse. Lehman scored a pair of goals for Greater Latrobe as the Lady Wildcats downed Hempfield Area 4-3 for its first win of the season. Vote each day through Wednesday at 5 p.m. at LatrobeBulletinNews.com/athlete for your star athlete. This week's winners will be announced in Saturday's paper. Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here. Coming up today in local sports, teams are back in action after the holiday weekend. Greater Latrobe Softball travels to Kiski area for a 3:30 start, while Wildcats track and field team competes at Greensburg-Salem at the same time. Greater Latrobe flag football is at Oakland Catholic at 4 p.m., and baseball hosts Kiski area at 4. Tonight, Greater Latrobe boys volleyball is at home against Armstrong at 7:30. For Derry Area, track and field heads to Indiana area at 4 p.m., with baseball hosting Indiana at 4:15. Boys volleyball welcomes Deer Lakes at 7 p.m. And in the Ligonier Valley, both baseball and softball are on the road at Deer Lakes with a 4 p.m. start for each. Thank you for listening to your Bulletin Brief. As always, you can find these stories and much more in today's copy of the Latrobe Bulletin and at LatrobeBulletinNews.com. Also, don't forget to like and share this podcast with a neighbor, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for the latest news happening in eastern Westmoreland County. For your Bulletin Brief and the Latrobe Bulletin, I'm Joe Wells. Have a wonderful day.